our spiritual therapy session. A few minutes before my session. So if you are here, this is on purpose. This is going to be part one. I'm going to break these down in parts. So let's tap in. All right. So if you'll know this is your reading, if you're here and you are in Scarlet Witch energy, or maybe you're just coming from that energy of illusions. Maybe you are seeing things kind of like how you wanted to see them. If you know anything about the Scarlet Witch, she's like a type 4 in the Enneagram, and in the Marvel series, she has a lot of mental health issues because of all the losses and the tragedies that she's went through. It's kind of what made her break. And of course, a little bit of being you gotta watch the backstory. I won't ruin it for those who watch Marvel. You already know her backstory. I'll probably go into it later. I'll have a little bit, so I just want to kind of get in and out. Um, and then you have Mystique here. So now what I'm seeing is maybe you're seeing the different faces that you've had, or maybe you're learning how to shape shift. Maybe you're learning how to be different people. And it says why what you see is never what you get. Maybe that's been going on. Maybe you've been in Mystique energy. Maybe you've been shape shifting. And then now I see your, ooh, yeah, self-control. So whoever you are, immediately I'm seeing the high priestess energy out on the board. And so you know to have more self-control than you actually are. I can tell that there's some type of regret here about how things look and maybe some choices that you made and maybe choices when you were shape shifting and moving around in different energy. Again, with Mystique, just being able to turn into different people. Maybe you're really good at that. Maybe you're really good at being in different spaces. You're able to kind of blend in. And maybe that gave you different choices in relationships. Maybe that made you a little bit of a player, or maybe that made you just able to be adaptable. I'm gonna say player because we have the 7 of Swords here. So maybe there was an illusion, maybe there's something that you were trying to set up for yourself, because that's essentially what it is. She's in some type of illusion and a sort, or trying to create an illusion because she's trying to make him believe that she's being mugged. If you've seen the movie Mean Girls, then you know this is when Katie and our friends come up with a great bright idea to get him jealous, right? So maybe there was a time that that was happening, and yeah, again, I feel like it's a lot of fake energy. Maybe there's a time that you felt like you were being fake or not being yourself, or you're mutating different energies. Again, that makes you very adaptable because if you're like Mystique, you're able to go into different spaces, right? You're able to be this person, that person, but maybe that kind of caught up with you. And like I said, I think that gave you different choices and people and different choices and situations. Um, like, I think it gave you access. Cause think about, they always use Mystique as a decoy, or as their infiltration. She always was able to get comms. So maybe something about that, maybe you're always able to get intel information because you're able to shapeshift. But I feel like maybe in this instance, because you got the High Priestess, I feel like you know that already. Like you know that you have the ability to shapeshift. Um, does it make sense? You know that you can shapeshift. You know you lack self-control. Come on, if you watch Marvel, you already understand. You already know who Wiccan is. What? Yeah, no. Matter of fact, ain't it his mama? Yeah. So maybe there's something like a generational patterns as well. Maybe you learned that from home, like just how to be adaptable and fit in. And again, maybe that's been successful for your home, like where you came from. Maybe there's a bit of fakeness in your family, and maybe perhaps you, in some ways, perpetuated that. I've done it before, so it's no shame or no guilt if you recognize the pattern, right? Hey man, these people being fake. Have I been doing that at times in my life? And I had to realize, especially in my 20s, and obviously not now, when I first left the home, when I first left out at 18 years old into the military, I didn't know who I was. So I was doing some behaviors, not all, but some behaviors like my home. So maybe perhaps some of that is there for you, I feel like. All right. I feel like that's kind of been heavy on your mind too. You've been plugged in, whoever you are. I don't know if you have been, if you're a reader yourself, or you just been getting readings, or you're getting plugged in. But I feel like maybe you're struggling hearing, and maybe you're like trying to listen to your heart and your head at the same time. I feel like something you want to say, but maybe like you don't know what to say, but you're getting these downloads, like you know what you're hearing, you understand. So I don't feel like you're a stupid collective. I feel like y'all a very smart bunch. Have to be smart if you got mystique energy. You definitely have to be clever, whoever you are. You're definitely clever people. So clever. Um, I feel like some of this was to fit in. So if you ever had a point where you were trying to fit in, you could have had this mystique energy, because that's what Katie was doing. She was not being herself. That's not who she is. That's not who she was. So if you ever have been doing that, don't feel ashamed. It's a character development piece. You don't have to stay fake. You don't have to stay fake. All right. I got about 2 minutes. So and then I'm gonna come back and do a part two. Yeah. I feel like this caused you a lot of confusion of, like, the 2 different worlds, right? So there's in this card, you have the world of her with academics, and then you have the world with her relationships. So maybe perhaps for some of you in the collective, um, maybe you're torn between focusing on your studies, yourself, your passions, your goals, and, like, your future and the steps ahead versus a relationship. So for some of you, that's definitely that. Like, what should you be focusing on? Maybe that's got you a bit torn and thinking of ideas. But I see, like, either way, maybe both of them will be successful for you. I don't feel like it's an and or choice. I think you're trying to think of how you can connect the dots, how you can have romance and also do whatever it is that you have great ideas to do personally. All right, I'm gonna go back to the Marvel deck. Tell me more about this Ace of Daggers. Clarify the Ace of Daggers. My girl, Black Widow. Um, well, you do got that Wiccan energy, right? The Wiccan and Black Widow. Yeah, Black Widow. She don't ask questions, baby. You start you pop off at the mouth too much. Pop 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 pop. It's gone. It's over. So maybe perhaps you're trying to think of an idea fast. Um, feel like you're being careful because it's look twice but leap once. So I feel like because Black Widow don't do nothing in vain. That's the one that calms the Hulk down. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't do anything in vain. Whatever she does, she's very sure about it, which is why she's Black Widow, right? So I see this Ace of Daggers. So maybe the thoughts that you're having, maybe you're becoming very sure, or maybe you want to be very sure. It's just like you're coming up now, being very sure of what you want to do. Uh-huh. I keep getting this, y'all. My collective must be special. The Moon Knight. Y'all, my mental health people. It's never too late for a second chance. I love. If you don't know who Moon Knight is, watch the series. You're gonna enjoy it. You won't be disappointed. This talks about psychotic breaks. So if you felt, and now whoever you're in the collective, you may have felt a little crazy. You may have felt a little crazy. Let's be honest. You have whoever I'm talking to, may have felt like you were out of your mind. And it's because of all the shape shifting, it's because of the trauma and having to put the pieces, because all three of these characters have had significant trauma. I'm going ahead and end that there. So if you have had significant trauma of your own, trigger warning for those of you. You notice he sought help. Everybody needed help. You may need help, sir, ma'am, sir. So, it's never too late for a second chance, guys. This is what I love about Moon Knight. I think this is what I love about Moon Knight probably the most, because when you think homie is down, he is not. Got another personality for you. Y'all got whoever you are, y'all have multiple personalities. Whoever you are, y'all able to shapeshift and go into different spaces and be different people. And I think again, that's a superpower for you. But I think if yeah, it's a superpower for you. That's genuinely how you move around and how you manifest. And I love that for you. Oh gosh. Joe, I'm sending you love and light. Good sunrise. I'd rather be blessed. I don't like your question. Uh, okay. This could have caused some shame. Who again, Moon Knight dealt with shame. She dealt with shame. I don't know if we can deal with shame. We probably should deal with shame. Mystique definitely dealt with shame. Not so much Black Widow. Which is I mean, maybe a little bit, but more so maybe guilt, abandonment, rejection stuff. Um So maybe oh, I just got chills. So maybe that's a piece too. So for some of you, abandonment, rejection. But I feel like that the things that you went through, same thing with him, the things that you went through has genuinely caused of course a ripple effect, but it's caused you to be a master manifester because you're able to see all the different things. You're able to move around in different spaces. You're genuinely able to or whoever you are like palms on the ground. If you were in my squad, I would love to have you in my squad. You are intel, which makes you the magician. You're able to use your feelings. You're able to use your words, your actual energy, your money, your talents, your passions, and you're able to make whatever it is that you want. Boss, big boss energy. And it's all because of all the things that you went through. I think it broke you so bad that you saw humanity for what it really is. You saw everything. So you see everything. But you gotta stop hiding, you know? You gotta stop this shit, whatever this is. Cause it's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself, bro. You're embarrassing yourself. Coming up stank. Nobody wanna be around that. If you're wondering who you are here, you'll be Katie in here. You'll be here. Coming up stank. Embarrassing. 5-5 challenging. This is challenging about it. Drunk and stank. Foul, doing foul shit. Because this is really what this is. He's doing foul shit. You sat there and you farted and he did that shit every day in class, knowing it. And look at the little look on his face. You know what you're doing. And these characters know what they're doing. They're not confused. They may be mentally challenged a bit, but they know what they're doing. Maybe not so much him. That's why I say watch the series. All right, guys. I want to come back for a part two, but we're gonna end this piece off because I don't know what I'm getting part two. I really don't. I'm just doing whatever Spirit says. So I'm just gonna give you affirmation. And I'm come back for part two, but I won't be on long. So in between sessions, you can focus on truth. Okay. In between our session, focus on being true. Look at how she's reflecting. So take a look in the mirror. I'm channeling "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson. I'm literally channeling that song. So go listen to it, put it on repeat, press play. What was the song trying to convey to you? Why would you need to look in the mirror? And if you haven't been looking in the mirror, perhaps this is a time to probably do so. Maybe stop avoiding that and acting like everything's okay and enjoy your awakening. By the way, I just watched a whole documentary out of nowhere about how dolphins help deliver babies. And of course, you know it's illegal to talk dolphins, but you can find some videos of dolphins helping deliver babies, and they have like sonar, um, you know, sonar echolocation But whatever the sonar, whatever it does, their location, their sounds, it has the ability to heal the nervous system of the infant and recalibrate it. Go and find it. Go do your own research and go and check. I'm trying to tell you, I'll be like, what? So now this card means so much more to me now because I feel like this awakening that you're having is in a realignment to whatever you're about to give birth to. So that could be a new, like you as a new person. Well, it is a new person for you. You are becoming a new person. You're being birthed because you're having an awakening in MEI energy. Definitely. All right. Talk to you later, guys. I'll be back.